a tribalizing society is a weakened society. A weak society is a weak government. Give reparations to people who were never slaves in a state that never had them.
Yeah. A dong won't get you dick.
Yeah. A dong is worth dick here.
Yeah, it's worth WCOC.
B.O.B.
WBOB, Washington Heights.
So last time we tried to record this, it went dog shit, and then I had to make a couple of changes. But I want to try this again because I have a gripe that has always been prevalent, and what sucks is that when we recorded this, everybody else started saying the same thing after we recorded it, and it didn't fucking record right. And so the issue that I want to bring up, and I don't know if anybody's worded it this way, I have an issue with the tribalization of ideas.
You want to know an interesting thing about this? Is I genuinely don't remember any of this. So this is going to be like it never happened.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I don't particularly remember everything that I said anyways. But the issue that I have is the tribalization of ideas, or what people would like to say, identity politics. And there was this post. The reason why I went on this fucking tirade is because ever since that Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson interview, people are like hating Tucker Carlson because he's giving Nick Fuentes a platform. You know, he's letting him speak. And everybody on here, I think it started with Ben Shapiro. It just started with this fucking post where it says, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this. And I have an issue with that because when you have a platform like that, what a lot of people are going to do, instead of just telling people what you like and don't like, I don't give a fuck what you like and don't like. The only thing I care about is if you are able to articulate why you believe what you believe, you know, and why X is a problem and why Y isn't.
Yeah.
And so...
And if you can't, it's fine. You don't have to change your mind. And just admit that you don't.
Yeah.
know
Well,
why
so it's like,
idea.
why? So what it essentially does is it literally creates division where if you like this person or you like this, you are this. And if you don't like this, and if you like this, you are this.
Like a Republican and Democrat thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I got
You know, so if you like Nick Fuentes, you're an anti-Semite. Who the fuck dictates that? You know.
Okay.
So the
weird how like that's the result is like in so facto.
Yeah, like
You
okay.
hate Jews.
Yeah, and I could totally. It's like what? Why isn't it? It's the words that he says that you resonate. Because I can tell you don't agree with it. You can actually. I know a lot of people that are into politics that would understand this, that if you agree with somebody 100% of the time, you are either very retarded or
you don't think about what you think.
You don't think about what you think, or you're what's the word? Confirmation bias.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree.
So
I agree with that.
So
like everything, really?
Yeah, like seriously everything. You know, so if I like Nick Fuentes, I only like him. There's just a lot of things that I disagree with him on. Like, you know, I mean, I won't get into that because I want to talk about this tribalization thing, but there's some things that I disagree and I agree with him on. I mean, you've had quite a decent conversation about how we, you know, certain things we agree and disagree about Tucker Carlson because some of the things he says is fucking retarded. But I will say he has this platform where, honestly, it really helps people kind of understand things with the way that he interviews.
Perspectives.
Yeah. Well, it's like him interviewing Putin. Now it's like, it's not about like what he says with Putin. You kind of can listen and watch Putin and see, you know, instead of him being like this elusive figure that, you know, everybody on the political side in America is talking about how, you know, he's so bad and all this shit. He gave Putin a platform to speak on.
Well, now I know what he actually thinks.
Now you actually know what he thinks and what he says, and you can determine yourself.
Yeah.
And so having Nick Fuentes on a podcast like that and interviewing him and actually listening to him, you know, I think it proves only benefits. You know, if you can sit down and have a conversation with your enemies, you know, that's by far, you will be able to find some sort of common ground with the people that you disagree with, you know?
Is it people that are watching it that are bitching that Tucker gave him a platform, or is it people that weren't watching anyway?
Well, people aren't going to watch. Not everybody's going to watch it, obviously.
Well, if you didn't watch it, then why are you mad that he gave him a platform? Because the platform's only as good as the crowd that surrounds it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well,
you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, well, it's so the idea is it's not like the primary reason why him giving him a platform is the issue. It's what it did was actually like kind of unveiled a facade that a lot of people had about what it means to truly be MAGA, to be America first. Let's give all of our money to Israel because that's what Americans do for some fucking reason. And I think it helped really unveil a lot of people, at least for me. I was actually, because I like to sit really far back and just watch all the sheep kind of mingle, seeing that, I was able to see a lot of people that started tribalizing themselves on the right specifically. Me personally, anybody that's watching, a lot of my things are right-leaning values. I don't consider myself, Republican. I may vote Republican, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I call myself a Republican. I'm just an American constitutionalist. So when I sit here and look at people that trying to put people in squares, in boxes where, if you believe this is who you are. This makes you somebody. Like you following a crowd into a dark room makes you somebody is fucking baffling to me. Instead of just reading, listening, observing, learning, confirming to you or denying to yourself on what is true, I think is the best way that anybody can truly come to a common ground. Because honestly, I don't believe in tribalization. I think it's a detriment to a society, So that's basically my gripe.
I just don't see a way around it. If you follow it all the way through. So let's just say, for example, people say left and right. Well, you can probably put the left in 50 different boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You can put the right in 50 different boxes.
Yeah.
And you can go to each one of those boxes and put all those people in 50 different boxes.
Yeah.
It's
which I think is how it really should be, to be honest, and to not judge people for the box that they're in.
Well, if we're honest, it's other people putting you in these boxes, not you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you are the one putting yourself in these boxes, that's the problem with confirmation bias. You don't realize you are putting yourself in a box.
Yeah.
You
have to really check yourself.
Yeah. When you don't think about what you think, you basically are putting yourself in one.
Yeah. So this the reason why I'm going on this tirade is because of this post that I mentioned. I'll put it on the screen so that everybody can read it. But this is something that it's clearly been very self-evident that it's been across society, or not just America. Before the conception of America, this tribalization has been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I'm about to read is actually from George Washington himself. And so you can read this in his farewell address, and it just goes like this. All right. A tribalizing society is a weakened society. A weak society is a weak government. A weak government leads to despotism. The spirit of party could agitate the community, create animosity, and be used by cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men to gain power at the expense of public liberty. And so what he's saying there is that if you allow people to put you in these boxes, you now weaken yourself as a society to that more cunning, ambitious men can come in, rise to power, and be the one that tells you, oh, I can alleviate all your struggles. Just vote for me, and I can, solve all your problems, and dumb, retarded people will be like, oh, yeah, man, because it sounds great. It's because it's something that they believe in, because they're saying everything that you want to hear,
Yeah.
And they know your way of thinking very well because they've spent generations putting these people in these boxes. And all these people have been allowing themselves to be controlled to think a certain way,
Yeah.
and you get what you get because of that. Because you don't think about what you think.
I don't know how you fix it.
It's
I just don't know
well,
how
I
you fix it.
I think it's just things like this. Being able to call yourself a right leaning person, and then to see the tribalization of the people on the right, and to point it out to the people on the left that the people over here that I have, been put over here as well, they're just as fucked up, not just constantly point fingers, but to be able to criticize your own. I think it's a start, but not everybody does that.
You think
And
by
not,
saying you're right leaning that you are putting yourself in a box?
I am, but the only reason why I say that I would put myself more right leaning is to kind of give people an idea on
Okay,
how
I
it
see
is
what
that
you're
I
saying.
think. It's
see what
not that I am right leaning. It's just,
So that they
um,
understand, like in a general sense or whatever.
I guess in a general sense, just because what does it mean to be right?
Means you're not wrong.
What does it mean to be right leaning? And I would say, I guess it's another topic we can get into. That's going to be a lot one to really unravel, because I think it would start with conservatism. You have to believe in small limited government.
I don't think that that's right or left.
I don't, but it's very more prevalent on the right.
I
For
think
more people on the right that claim they're on the right claim to be conservatives. So when I say that I'm more right leaning, it's kind of like giving
yeah,
an
I'm just
indication
failing
on,
to see any over there.
yeah,
So it makes me think like you have your right and your left, but just examining things from 1,000 feet, what I see is you have two groups of people that don't critically think, and then you have people that do critically think that may vote one way or the other, but they're not either one. Well, what is the right? You know what I mean? It's like it's not even describable. What is the
yeah,
left? It's not even describable.
yeah,
What I see is a bunch of people that are being shepherded.
yeah,
When I see the left and the right, I just see people that are shepherded.
yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure there are some things on the left that makes a lot of sense to me. Maybe, doubt it. There's some things on the right that I do think makes a lot of sense, but there's far more things that don't. Just the size of government alone makes no sense to me.
yeah,
It's why is it that most people vote for the president and they don't even know who their fucking mayor is?
yeah,
It's not what the Federalist Papers were all about. That was the decentralizing of government.
yeah,
That's states' rights. And so when I view it, I'm pretty sure if I was to sit down with anybody on the left or right and I asked them specifically on ideas, they could probably answer it, but it would be probably the first time they've ever thought of how they would answer it.
yeah,
So it just lets you know that you're kind of just going with the flow and you're being shepherded
yeah,
to where I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm some high IQ critical thinking dude or whatever, but anything you're trying to sell me, you're going to have to make it make sense to me.
yeah,
It's not going to be because you have the same jersey on. And that's kind of the way I see it. Is I don't see people that are left and right. I just see people that can be shepherded one way or the other. And then I see people that can't. You got to make this make sense to me. Like Ukraine, Israel, two good things. Two good examples right there. The left is okay with giving money blindly to Ukraine. The right, okay with giving money blindly to Israel.
yeah.
And I think you got people I don't even want to call them the middle because I don't even think they're the middle. I think they're just,
I don't even think they're on this fucking bird.
yeah. I think they're just sitting aside saying, you guys look, hey, can the grown-ups come and ask some questions? Like,
Yeah,
why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And I don't think that makes you left or right. I think that's just somebody that's not going to be bamboozled.
yeah,
There might be a reason to give Ukraine money. There may be a reason to give Israel money. Just nobody's told me why.
yeah. But just to sit there and just do this and just
Yeah,
here,
because
take
that's
my-
what my team does.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen with me.
Yeah, no.
I think
I'm
all of it is dumb. Our country gave Morocco $250 million to rebuild a boat. I want to know why.
Yeah.
And not because it's important. Because
Yeah.
it ain't fucking important to me.
Yeah. What? Supposedly they end up not even fixing the fucking thing or some shit like that.
I wouldn't
don't know.
doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, that's my gripe though. I just
It's irritating.
it is really irritating because
I think it's by design, though.
yeah,
I don't want to keep perpetuating the phrase divide and conquer, but it's what it looks like. But if you listen to these politicians, I don't even think they're smart enough to divide and conquer. Like Ted Cruz, I don't think this guy's smart enough to divide anything and conquer anything. But I do think he's able to be shepherd, you know? I do think he's a shepherded person, you know? And so that makes me think, well, who's the fucking shepherd?
Yeah.
You know? Because if Ted Cruz is the sheep, if Marco Rubio is the sheep, if Elizabeth Warren is the sheep, then who's the shepherd?
Yeah.
And I just don't think it's this country. I think it's foreign powers,
Yeah.
you know? But if you ask that question, you're kind of some weird conspiracy theorist or something. Because, man, you listen to Ted Cruz, man. What the fuck is this guy going to sell you? Dude, this dude couldn't sell you a burger if you were trapped in the desert.
Yeah.
Dude's just a weaselly-looking motherfucker, dude.
Yeah. I think he's got some importance, though, as much as I disagree with him on a
Well,
lot
I mean,
of things.
when just to say if you got two opposing armies, you can have big, strong, powerful people. They ain't really much good, but being in the way, and so they are important. You know what I mean? I do think that you've got, from what I see, two sides that just they're shields from the other. You know, and it's really to keep the focus. I think keep the focus of the American populace fixated on these two groups, like they're the ones battling.
Yeah.
But I think they're really the brigade that protects the people that are really doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like in the old medieval war days where you got the general and shit in the back and you just send the brigade out. And then so it looks like everybody's just fucking badass warriors, but really they're just letting the other team not get close to the general.
Yeah, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I think these people think they're doing the good work and all these things. When I listen to AOC, when I listen to Ted Cruz, at the end of the day, the only thing they are is an opposing vote for the other team.
Yeah.
It's the agenda that I'm looking at. But I think everybody just is fixated on the battering rams and shit, of which the teams are colliding.
Yeah.
I want to know who's pushing the agenda.
Yeah. Who ordered these two to fight?
Yeah. Now the result could be pure, and it's the result. They're fighting is the result of opposing this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that could just have been by design too.
It's like California just voted that they're going to pay reparations, right?
Give reparations to people who were never slaves in a state that never had them.
Yeah. Like California wasn't even a state when slavery ended.
Yeah.
It was still Mexico, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, seriously? It's like,
just do a little bit of reading. It just takes a little bit of reading.
Make it make sense.
And to know that all of this is just, there's an agenda behind it.
That's what I want to know. What's the goal?
Yeah.
You know? Because the only thing I can see, and it might just be because I'm not smart, for me, what it looks like is let's inflate the dollar. Let's put the people in debt to where they have no choice but to switch to a currency.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. And I can't even say, I used to think like, because I would hear people say the yen, they're trying to make the yen the official dollar of the world or whatever. Man, the yen ain't worth jack dick.
I would say they go to the euro before anything else.
Yeah, but I think it's probably the most competitive. There's more valuable currencies in the world. I think the American dollar is like the seventh strongest,
which is crazy to me.
Yeah, a lot of the countries that have stronger dollars, you've probably never even heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the dong, I'll tell you that.
It's not the dong.
What is it, like 400
it's like
million
25
dong?
million dong for like $20.
You got to be a trillionaire in there.
Yeah, trillionaire, just pay your light bill. How cool would it be to just say, man, can I get 20 dong?
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Let me borrow 20 dongs, dude.
Come on, dog.
All right. Fucking dong. Who thought of that? That's funny. I wonder if dong like means something like cool as fuck in Vietnam.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the dong is like the most strongest tiger or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
but we use that as like a dick
Yeah,
vernacular
it's
here.
it just means dick over
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
That's how useless this thing is.
yeah.
A dong won't get you dick.
Yeah, a dong is worth dick here.
Yeah, it's worth.
A dong ain't worth dick
A
here.
dog ain't worth dick around it. It's not even. Oh man, that's funny. Dog ain't worth dick in America, dude.
Yeah,
Over there, it's a fucking fighting tiger and shit
yeah,
with wings and
Yeah.
talons, real long talons.
yeah. If that's true.
Yeah, over here it's just something you have to protect so nobody kicks it or something.
Yeah.
Dog ain't worth dick. That's fucking funny, dude.
And the thing is, as well, is if you question the tribalization of ideas, now you're all kinds of things from these people that tribalize themselves. You know, it's like, why
Why do you
can't
think
I
that
ask?
is? You think it's because? Do you think it's just lack of humility, or is it just lack of observation? Or I'm pretty sure I do some things just blindly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
well,
just not a lot. You know?
So I think it starts with when somebody has a uh, if somebody doesn't agree with you, that person that so if I say something that somebody doesn't agree with, and I find out that they don't agree with me by them telling me why they don't agree with me, the first thing that happens typically in a situation like that is that the person that they're hearing their disagreement from, now it's immediate defense. The walls have to come up. If you don't have I guess, yeah, probably a little bit of humility. If you don't have a little bit of humility, by these walls coming up, you're now not really listening. You're dismissing, you know, there could be something very valuable here that this person is saying that either will confirm or deny your belief. And allowing that to come in and you truly listen, because if you don't if you don't have confirmation bias, you're constantly wanting to grow. You know, you're constantly trying to find yourself being wrong in certain areas. And it's hard for me sometimes because like there's been numerous occasions where I spent a lot of time building my foundation on a certain idea when it comes to either philosophy, politics, or whatever. And then listening to somebody dismantle it, it's kind of heartening because you spent a lot of time believing this, you know? And so when that typically happens, what I see is that people tend to just throw up a wall and not listen. And it's just it ends up boiling down to the one who yells the most is the one that's heard. It's a detriment. It's actually a problem because when you have multiple factions of people that listen to opposing ideas, they immediately stop listening because you're this and this and this because you don't believe in this. And so when instead of just actually sitting and listening, why don't you agree with me? You know, why is this thing that I truly believe in to the core something that I'm very passionate about? And you're just, no, this is stupid. And if that person that disagrees with it can tell you why, then you can actually have proper dialogue. But at the moment that person is not able to articulate why, and they just dismiss you, call you this and that because you believe that, one, you're not actually being disproven. So your idea is not being dismantled. You know, you're being called names and shit because of something that you believe in. Nobody's actually telling you why you're wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Bigot. The people who ridicule when reason is against them, you know? So that is step number one. When you can have a discussion without ridicule, that is where progress is actually being made. So to anybody,
Well, you at least know both people are listening.
yeah, even a third party that's listening in, if you just have two people just calling each other names, there's nothing progress here.
Yeah.
You just the emotion. The only thing
You
that's
both look like
progressing,
idiots.
yeah, you both look like idiots. The only thing that's progressing is the anger between the two, and that usually doesn't go very well. So
I was in a sauna the other night, and there's this. I say he's a young guy, but he's like I think he was 28, 29. works for UPS. These two guys were just talking about finances and credit and stuff like that. And I don't know how the conversation got turned to wasn't a political conversation. It was like a fundamental core constitutional thing. And he didn't know the exact verbiage. He didn't know that America is the only country in the world that has a First Amendment right of speech.
Yeah.
He had no idea of that. And other countries may have the other parts of the First Amendment, but they don't have the speech part. It's a privilege in most areas, which is why it can be regulated. Here, it's the rule of law. He didn't know the verbiage of the Second Amendment, and he's a grown man. You know what I mean? But he's just younger than me, and he.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is that a lot of people don't.
Well, I mean, if it's just never been part of your forte, I can understand it. But he's also didn't sound like somebody that was against it either. And he's like, I just don't really know what it actually says. And I read it to him. And he, well, what is a militia? But there's no shame in it because it's not, you're not an idiot if you don't know. There's a billions and billions and billions and billions of things that I don't know either.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably knows thousands, maybe millions of things that I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's not like this person is smarter than you. It's just you're talking to the one thing he knows about. There's probably, and the humility he just naturally had. It was like, what is a militia?
Yeah.
Why is that so important? You know what I mean? And just his willingness to just say, I don't know.
You see how like the progress of that conversation has when there's just a little bit of humility and you're asking why? Especially if it's especially like
I can tell you if there was a day he wanted to learn about it, he now knows where to go look. You know what I mean? But it's like he didn't even look like he was taking my word for it either. It's just you can tell that he knows this is the first time he's hearing it.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
So how does one get that type of humility? It's like I used to not have it. You know what I mean? When I was younger, I did not have it. So
me personally, I don't know how it just takes the I think one example could just be Hard Knocks. Some people need to experience Hard Knocks to really sit back like, oh man, that actually fucking sucked. And to experience a hard knock, you're kind of pushed back to the point where you now have no choice but to observe the predicament that you were just in. Do
you think you can just be born? Like I used to not have any humility. I was an arrogant little fuck, man. And one day that changed. But so either of these people just never have had that moment of clarity, or maybe I was born with the ability to and just found it. I wonder if some of those things are just innate, like you're born this way. Like you don't have that spot in your brain that listens,
Yeah.
I wonder, it's like I go through these like really big spells where I'll just do a lot of true crime stuff and I'm infatuated with the legal system and stuff like that. And it's
which we all think that you should just quit doing this and just become a lawyer.
I can't do it. I don't off topic, but you'd have to pick a side, right? You're either a prosecuting attorney or a defense attorney.
Yeah, we're having a whole conversation about we don't like sides.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want to be, some people would want to be a prosecutor so that they send people to justice.
Yeah.
Me, I know how hard it actually is to prove somebody guilty. You can't even believe a confession these days. And it's like, even if I know this dude's guilty, it's like, who am I on a personal moral standard to say that this person's shouldn't be with us? He needs to be over there with his fucking dummies.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have that in my brain. I can't do that.
Yeah. I think if you were to be a lawyer, I think the only route you could take is a defense attorney.
I'd have to take a defense attorney, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be times where this motherfucker did this, And I'm somebody that whatever I'm doing it full gas.
Yeah.
And I hate to know like I got like the world's shittiest douchebag just to walk, to just continue his shittiness.
Yeah.
I just don't think I can do it. It's a system I don't feel like feeding,
Yeah.
Because I think I could do it.
I agree. But I will say, man, a lot of people do believe in the fact that rather let 10 guilty people go than one innocent man.
There'll be a lot of people
Locked
that say fuck that, but that's because you don't picture yourself being that innocent, dude.
Yeah.
That's something that I was talking to your mom about yesterday. It's because she read this thing where this dude, he gets sentenced to 2 months in jail for a DUI. And he's like, I don't know anything about this guy, but he wasn't handcuffed in court. It's like, all right, get the fuck out of my courtroom, go get your affairs in order, and then report to the jail at this date. So what that tells you is that this guy is probably his first time being in trouble, you know? But a DUI is something you don't probably do. I think they take it very seriously.
Yeah.
In his second night in jail, his cellmate pulls him off the top bunk and just smashes his fucking head in the ground until he dies, you know? And the comments on this thing was, well, you don't do the crime, you don't do the time, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, the ability to put yourself in other people's shoes is something that a lot of people have a problem doing. It's the benefit of the doubt is the one thing. If you read any tweet, any comment, any Facebook post, everybody wants to put their side out because they want you to give them benefit of the doubt. But it's the one thing that nobody fucking does.
Yeah.
Everybody demands benefit of the doubt, but refuses wholeheartedly to give it to fucking anybody. And I don't know where that comes from. You know what I mean? But I can put myself in that dude's shoes. I think people underestimate how many times they break the fucking law every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's...
Yeah. I'm sure I've had quite a few times where I've done felony speeding.
Dude, you know, I'm the only one I know.
I probably could have gotten to jail just by speeding multiple times. Oh, probably on my way here, shit.
And granted, this isn't a question I ask a lot of people, but almost anybody I know has at least somewhat drove while they're somewhat intoxicated, except this guy. I've never drank and drove, ever, not one time. But even me, I can give the dude benefit of the doubt. But if you look at some of the stand your ground cases, man, it's... Again, I've watched quite a few stand your ground cases, and even seeing the videos to it and stuff. It's almost all of the stand your ground cases that I've seen. I know there's people that totally stands up, but the ones I've watched, man, I watched 5 of them consecutively. And I think if I put myself in the person's shoes, I can probably justify all 5 of them. But there was 3 of them that was undeniable. This dude's defending himself. They all 5 were guilty. They all 5 are in prison. And there was 3, like it was, I do not see what you guys aren't seeing. You know what I mean? But there was one, this dude knocks this dude the fuck out, dude. And he's handicapped, and he's on the ground, and the dude's walking over to him like he's going to curb stomp the fuck out of him. And that dude, he's just scared. He pulls his gun out, and as soon as he pulls his gun out, the guy that was going to stomp him turned real quick, and then he shot him, you know?
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
And see, everybody says, well, the moment he turned, he knew he was no longer a threat.
What? Yeah,
but I know how long it takes for reaction times, trigger pulls.
When he pulled that trigger, he was already intending to pull the trigger.
Yeah. And,
like, it's been in his head. Like, this is a guy is a threat.
Yeah.
You know? And he may have realized when he pulled out the gun, but you got so much adrenaline rushing, dude. You just see there's an object in front of you about to stomp on your fucking face.
Yeah, man.
You know? You're not paying attention to somebody doing that.
You are now. Granted, if you do this all the time, you probably could.
Yeah.
But like if you're some like Navy SEAL Delta guy, you probably looking for those nuanced shoulder movements, you know.
Yeah.
But somebody was just going up there to get him a Mountain Dew or whatever the fuck he was getting.
Yeah, he didn't go to that place.
Yeah.
To shoot somebody.
Yeah.
He didn't go there to do that.
And again, that dude, he didn't have to. He could have knocked him the fuck out and walked away if he would have never proceeded towards him more. He wouldn't have got shot either. Like, I hope that was worth it to you.
Yeah.
But it's everybody being armchair quarterbacks. Like, you're sitting here in the comfort of your home or on a jury stand, and you're able to analyze this frame by frame by frame. This guy didn't get that opportunity. But again, it's just benefit of the doubt is the one thing people are unwilling to give.
Yeah.
Because they try to analyze what they're seeing instead of trying to put themselves in that position. And if you want to I can do that. I can pick frame by frame by frame apart all day long. But I think a very elite person.
I will say that anybody that was probably there in the moment that witnessed that probably wouldn't have seen him do that. They probably would have, correlated that with after he got shot. Oh, that's a reaction to being shot. Not that that was a preemptive thing just by seeing the gun. If you put yourselves in the predicament of if people were actually there witnessing that, the dude pushed him down and he pulls out a gun and shoots him, you can kind of see where it fucking started and ended at, But
I mean, it was tight. It was tight. Like, he was turned away, but it was just barely turned away. Put it this way, he never made a step the other way, but his body was turned.
a lot quicker to do, but yeah, I think you would only be able to come to that conclusion by sitting there frame by frame.
Now, but again, like, say if I'm getting in a fist fight, dude, most people that get in fist fights, they don't get in fist fights every single day. Now, you get Johns Bones Jones in there, try to hit that dude in the face. You probably won't succeed. You know what I mean? But he's an elite fighter that fights every fucking day. He can probably do it. But this guy, he was handicapped. Like, he was Social Security, all that shit. Like, he walked with a weird limp. Now, granted, he shouldn't have been. He got himself in that predicament too. You know what I mean? Because he was yelling at somebody parked in a handicap spot.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
But that wasn't even the person that had a problem. It was her boyfriend. Her boyfriend heard her yelling outside, and he came out and just didn't ask one question, just waited to do that, which I probably would have done too.
Yeah, I would have done too.
But I don't think I would have proceeded to go kick him in the head or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just be like, dude, get the fuck out of here. So say like the transgender stuff, it's right and left, But me, I think it's weird, but I'm at least willing to understand it. So I'm not taking the bait on either side.
Yeah.
The Affordable Health Care Act, Obamacare, you're taking a side one way or the other. I just want to know why it's fucked up. And why do these people like it so much, and why are these people hate it so much?
Yeah.
I'm not picking a side. I want to see what everybody's bitching about. And I'm not smart. I don't think I'm some smart person. But I'm just willing to hear. But I'm pretty sure there's times where I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But for, I think, 90% of my life, it's like, you're going to have to sell this to me. You're not going to get me to join your fucking team. I'm already like a little weirded out by groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like all of you guys believe in the same thing. Like literally all of you. All 100% of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like, how is like the one black guy that believes in right-leaning policies, he's an Uncle Tom? Like what determined like the fact that you believe in conservatism and you are a specific kind of conservative because of a color that you are?
Yeah. And you're racist now.
Yeah.
But yet you just called somebody an Uncle Tom because he didn't agree with you.
Yeah. And I would probably agree with a lot of things that black person believes in, but I'm not an Uncle Tom. That's kind of racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why is he an Uncle Tom just because he's black?
I don't get it, man. It's like...
So
for me, I watch it and I'm more perplexed at it because it's like how and man, I read a post the other day. She had all the flags on her profile, so she's aligned with everybody except "Make America Great Again." Apparently, this is Hitler, And
I think it's sorry to say that to interrupt you, but people that are against "Make America Great Again."
Think about that, bro.
Think about
think about what you're saying right now.
Wait, you want to make America shit again?
It's like what? You ain't even gotta like Trump, man. Yeah. It's like you should want that to at least happen.
Fuck MAGA. What?
Like really? Like you just don't want that to happen?
Yeah.
It's just weird, bro. It's not even Trump saying like this. Ronald Reagan wrote that. Like I'm pretty sure Ronald Reagan got it from somebody else. You know? It's like I don't get it. If Starbucks started going to shit and some new management took over and says make Starbucks great again, you're gonna be like racist.
Yeah, you only took it from the white neocons.
You fucking you homophobe, xenophobe,
yeah,
Marxist, fascist.
But anyways,
but she said she took her 5-year-old nephew to the store the other day, and a guy with a red MAGA hat was walking by, and she said her 5-year-old nephew grabbed her leg, trembling in fear. The fucker doesn't even know what the hat says because he's fucking 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's, auntie. First of all, that's called bullshit.
Yeah.
That never fucking happened.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, have you ever thought about what you saw, dude? It's like,
Yeah. Give me something that didn't happen for 500.
yeah, dude, it's like it's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
You know, how did you get to that point? Dude, I saw a video of an older woman, like this lady's 50s. She legit jumped in a pond to get 2 ducks to stop fucking. And not,
I saw that one.
Not no ankle deep pond, dude. She was tit
Yeah,
level.
it's like fucking doing that.
Trying to get her sleeves dry, keep her sleeves dry. You know? And she's throwing fucking rocks at ducks, dude.
Yeah.
How did you get here? You know what I mean? What brought you to this moment? It's like that's the part where you got to make this make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, do you hate ducks? Is it just the male duck you hate? Because she kept saying, "Get off her," because it was 2 ducks fucking.
Yeah.
And she had to climb a railing. All right, she had to climb, but the railing was tit level.
Yeah.
And she's not in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she like had to waddle over that fucking railing. And at some point, she either slipped or dove in to throw rock. Now you're throwing rocks.
Dude,
at
I
ducks,
guarantee you that she could not tell the difference between a male and a female duck until there was one mounted.
Yeah, it might have been 2 gay ducks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I've seen 2 dude dogs banging before.
Yeah.
But
to
it's like,
assert dominance.
to assert his dominance. But that's the thing that I don't care that you're yelling. I don't care that you jumped in a pond. I don't care that you're throwing a rock at a duck.
Yeah.
I just wonder how you got here.
Yeah.
Like what stars aligned
Yeah.
for you to say, this is what I need to do right now.
Yeah. For that one neuron to fire off that made you so fucking
It's
angry
like,
at a
dude,
duck.
Make that make sense, you know? To where like a person on the right would be like, man, you fucking wokies, and the person's on the left because it's misogyny or some shit.
Yeah.
To me, I don't care about any of these things. I want to know how that made sense to you.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that I don't agree with. There's some things that I don't think is right. But I ain't jumping in a fucking lake and throwing rocks at it. You know what I mean? Like I don't even understand how you made it this long. Like the thing that sent you over the edge was 2 ducks. Like that means you haven't even been victimized. Because if just witnessing 2 ducks sent you over the edge, then that means nothing's happened to you because you would have been in jail. You know, so if you walked into a room and there's just some guy just on some girl, you're like, get off of her, and throwing rocks at him. And it's like, why the ducks?
Yeah.
Or have you just never seen the other things?
It seems to me like that's just somebody who hasn't.
This lady's just legit had to do a few hit and runs. You know what I mean? Like,
Probably, but
like-
it just sounds like somebody who hasn't experienced hard knocks yet.
think of any other environment where you seeing a dude jump into a lake and throwing rocks at a duck, and tell me he won't have a criminal record. You know what I mean? It's
Animal
like-
abuse.
Yeah, it's like how have you just remained unknown by police up to this point? How did you evade police for 50 years?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So we go from the tribalization of ideas.
Well, that's
to
what it
2
is.
ducks fucking.
That's what it is, right? So it's obviously some misogyny thing,
Yeah.
right? Because she wasn't mad at the girl duck. Now stop letting him fuck you. She wasn't saying that. It was
Yeah.
like, stop fucking her.
Yeah.
Get off of her.
Yeah.
The
that's
duck
true.
doesn't even know it's a her.
Well, no, the duck knows. It's just the only thing that the duck doesn't know is the belligerent fuck. Yeah.
This is what wine does to women, dude.
The duck just doesn't know that there's, the belligerent fuck yelling at them. He just hears a bunch of fucking get off of her and don't know what the fuck that means. I'm just trying to get some, cuz.
Yeah. Maybe the female duck was like courting him or something. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
I don't know how it leads up to 2 ducks fucking.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of in the animal community where it's like the men have to put in a lot of work to
Yeah,
woo
sometimes
over
they just gotta take it.
the female. Yeah.
Sometimes they just take it, dude. But females, there's female. There's insects that do it. Dude, there's fish that are like actual trannies.
I know there are gay frogs.
Yeah, gay as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, so did the system create this woman, or did she create herself, or is she victim? Is she victim of a system, or is she what feeds the system?
That's actually a good question.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anybody that's a victim of the system, though.
I agree because you have to allow them to.
Yeah.
But one thing I've always been amazed by is just human life, period. Like the chromosomes that have to check out, the white blood cells, all of these things in your body has to be perfect for a human to be born.
Yeah.
And not only does it happens on a routine basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ability to be alive is a miracle, but it's so consistent that it's almost not even a miracle. But then you think, man, when I see somebody that's jumping in a pond, throwing a rock at a duck, maybe they aren't normal.
Approximately 385,000 babies are born worldwide each day. In the United States, about 9,800 babies are born each day. That's a lot of fucking time
That's a
for
lot
that
of
shit
things
to
that
click right.
You click right constantly like that.
Yeah.
But that's erratic. Like that's not even like somebody gets mad and just that's erratic. This lady is triggered by a fucking duck. You know, like,
Yeah.
something tells me that she hates all men. She hates her husband. Or I wonder if she like used to love it, but then society told her she wasn't able to. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know which one. I don't know what
I
comes.
wonder where it diverged, or if there was a divergence and something led her down that path from the beginning, you know?
I don't know.
Because even like during COVID, I remember you told me about this. You sat down at, I can't remember what restaurant, maybe it was Bob Evans.
Sonny's, man.
Sonny's.
Yeah.
And there was these two older couples that sat down next to you and they took off their mask.
Yeah.
But they're like senior as fuck. It's like, how do you go
They
that
were senior,
long?
like they didn't have to work, but still young enough to like, man, that's impressive to be not needing to work.
Yeah, so it's like, how do you find yourself in that predicament going that long, clicking all boxes, you know? And then this happens, and like this is your mentality, you know? Like you think taking your mask off when you sit down, all right,
Yeah.
the disease ain't here. As long as you sit down, you're okay.
When I saw that, I was sitting there and I was looking at these two, and it made me think about what is that shit where they say that a movie will be going in like a number of flash. What is it called?
Like subliminal messaging.
Subliminal messaging.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that the people that I knew that didn't, but they didn't like not believe in the mask thing. They just knew it's better than nothing. But they all had one thing in common, and that is that they didn't watch television, like ever. Like me and I know maybe 20 people that just do not watch television at all. And I'm wondering, like, if there is subliminal messaging in television shows. I definitely know there's narratives and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I wonder if there's just like coding inside television shows or mainstream media.
Yeah, you can look up all over YouTube like subliminal messaging and cartoon shows and shit like that. It's riddled through SpongeBob.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's riddled through SpongeBob. Ed and Eddie, Cartoon Network, like it's riddled through there. And they never allude to any of it, you know, but it's like if you slow it down frame by frame, you know, you can catch it, you know, in between frames.
So I just wonder if like
it's very prevalent. The thing is, I didn't know about any of this, you know, watching it until I became an adult and I was able to see all that. And it's like, I wonder if that was like kind of, you know, that kind of routed.
Maybe it has to be mixed with this one and then this one and then this one and then this one. And then it all together, they conduct this entire message.
Yeah,
I don't know that. I just know that just like that lady that was throwing the rocks at the duck, I'm assuming in any other facet of her life, she's quite normal.
Yeah, but that's like the tricking word, like some MK Ultra shit.
Yeah, something like that. It's because it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how did you get this far in life and think that you're not going to get sick like this? And how did you get this far in life and now you're jumping in a pond?
Yeah.
You're telling, dude, you're 50 something years old and you've never seen two ducks fuck? I know a guy that paid $200 to watch it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And it has to be something like that. How can you sit here and have a job to fulfillment, retire, raise children, have a husband? I'm assuming she's normal, has friends, clearly drinks wine. Just all of a sudden found yourself at 50 something years old at Griffin Park throwing rocks at a fucking duck.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, I expect that shit from a fence walker. This lady looks like she pays her taxes, dude. You know what I mean? She had a nice white blouse on, you know. You can tell like she was just out there and not looking for ducks to throw around.
Yeah. Do you think like some people, because I showed you this video the other day of like this woman that acted out in a mall and just crying tantrum, you know, so much so where she like was laying on the ground, you know, pounding all that shit.
The,
And
the Bath and Body Works.
yeah. And do you think like sometimes people, it's like, so like an example for me, and I'm sure a lot of people are like this, where like if a joke doesn't land, you keep going until it's like,
you get it?
until it's like annoying
You
enough
know
to
what I
where
mean?
they start laughing because you're
Yeah.
annoying now, you know? And it's like, that's when you stop. I wonder if it's something like that where they just have to hunker down because, all right, they're already belligerent. Let's just not be like,
Oh, I see what
You
you're
know,
saying.
let's just put all my cards in here because I was willing to see if this would work. Let's see how far I can take it until it does. And I think that's probably one thing where
That's probably
it's
a
like
portion of
maybe
it,
it's
I'm
like
sure.
the arrogance in themselves where they feel like they're so entitled to their opinion that everybody needs to adhere to them, so they'll just keep going until it fucking works. And if it does work, like, see, I fucking told you so,
Yeah.
you know, you stupid bitch or whatever. And then it stops when they're taken away. I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like it could be something like that.
I can see that because they say like when someone has their opinions, has a position based on opinions, when presented with facts, they dig their heels even further in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that one was really bad looking.
Yeah,
Like
it
I don't know
really
what
was.
caused it all, but you should put a link up to it because it's funny.
Yeah,
it's
it's funny as fuck. Yeah.
Because she does not let up. This is like a 20. I don't
it's
think
like
we've
a
been
50
talking for as long as this lady's still been freaking out.
Yeah. I think it's around 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was
sure.
a while. It's a
Yeah, when I was showing you, I was like fast forwarding it. It's like, so yeah, she's still fucking doing it, you know,
yeah,
to the point where the cops get there.
yeah.
And then she was taken away. Yeah.
She didn't. She was just combative until she like went to hit her, and then I guess she knew that she fucked up there, and so she just tried to play the victim.
Yeah.
I won't talk about it anymore. I'll just put the link up to it. It's actually a very funny video.
It is. Yeah. But it's like, I wonder where that
Like there's two
would have
parts.
started. Well, I just wonder where that would have started at, you know, like,
I think there's a portion of it that is just, I think that when you have people that will yell in somebody's face and just cause freakouts, jump in lakes, I think these people have just gone through the world thinking they're the main character.
Yeah.
And when they find out they're not, they can't handle it.
Yeah. So they just, like you said, dig their heels down even deeper.
Yeah. Because there is no main character.
Yeah.
There is no main character.
Yeah.
You are not as important as you think you are.
Yeah. I agree.
And if you are sitting in a store, you can rest assured that there's a strong likelihood that 99.99% of the people in the store have never seen you before.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have, you were that relevant, they don't even remember it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they saw, they could literally be sitting next to you in checkout and see your face on a billboard and wouldn't even attach the two. And I don't think people can handle that. I guarantee you some of people's closest friends don't really give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
So I think it's just hard for some people to accept for some reason.
Yeah. I just wanted to make this video about pointing out this obvious fact to me. How you go about getting somebody to not be like that. I don't think we can make that into one singular video.
I did see this thing on Psyops, and they said one of the greatest, longest lasting Psyop is school. Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name, but he came up with he's the guy who invented the term PR.
Huh.
Yeah. So it was switched to public relations, but it actually stood for propaganda.
Oh,
And,
interesting.
He went to Europe. It's funny. So this is the way my brain works. So I'll give you. he goes to Europe and wondered how they did education in Europe. And he came back and instituted the practices of modern day school today. You wake up, you go to school, you recite the anthem.
Yep.
They give you a certain book. You read the book. You repeat the book.
Yeah.
There's no critical thinking here.
Yeah.
They mass produce.
Yep. That's one thing I realized later after school is that that's literally all it was. And there was a lot of things throughout.
Rinse and repeat.
Like,
rinse and repeat.
Like my time going to school, a lot of things were taken out that were actually very important, such as cursive. Civics is another big one. I think it's a really big one.
Yeah, we don't need to remember any of these things.
Yeah, there's no civics in school anymore.
Yeah.
At least, at the time that I went into school. And it was actually like like an elective almost. Like you had to choose to go to civics, and it's like, why wouldn't you want to make American history and American politics like from the beginning?
Know the structure of it.
Yeah, at least know how it's like. There's no teaching of the Constitution.
Yeah.
There's no teaching of the Bill of Rights. There's nothing. They teach you about bills and how laws are made, but that's it. Like they don't teach you why it was meant to be decentralized like that.
I saw a lady the other day that had a political science degree and thought there was 5 branches of government.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
What an absolute fucking idiot.
But I was reading.
like you went to college, like you graduated high school, and then you went to college for political science, not let alone.
It's kind of the course.
Yeah, it's kind of like the core fucking thing. Like you gotta have.
Meanwhile,
really
there's a guy right now rinsing out a porta john that knows there's 3 branches of government.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like honestly, actually, now that I think about it, it's not even that baffling because we know a cop that don't even know what a 1911 is.
Yeah.
So you could be in the very job that you're required to know shit about and not know shit.
Yeah. So I was listening to this and I'm like, that's interesting because that totally did happen. This is fact. You can find his names in all of the publishings and all that stuff. This is actually legit shit. I have one question though, and I don't think, at least this video didn't present it. It's, I want to know who paid him to go over there and learn it.
Yeah.
So this is just some guy just chilling out in fucking Virginia. And it's like, babe, I'm going to be back in 2 months. I'm going to go to Europe and learn how to day structure school. And I'm going to come back and tell the government on how to do it. Who sent you over there? Who paid for it? Who did the studies?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't start with this guy.
Yeah. Maybe you need to send me the link of that, and I'll leave a link in the description as well for that.
It's funny because you sent me the link.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Is that the NCI guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's probably been a minute then.
It's just interesting because people would listen to this and read this study and see the documents and be like, man, that guy's fucked up. So he's the guy that made all of us products. The guy who sent them there is who did it. Because I can assure you, this guy wasn't sitting on his couch watching Donahue saying, I'm going to go figure out how to make our schools like a machine. Somebody sent him to go figure out how to make this schools like a machine.
Yeah. Created a poster child.
He's just the guy that gets all the arrows in time, Yeah. But that's where my brain is.
That's how it goes, though.
But it's the same thing with Congress. People look at Congress. These guys are the enemies.
I don't know, man. They all do insider trading. They all got fucking money for some reason,
I think there's benefits to doing it, but I want to know who's pulling their strings.
Yeah.
Like K Street exists. K Street is a street in Washington, D.C., and it is littered. The entire street is lobbied.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's
just lobbyists. So during that audit Wall Street and all that shit, I was like, nah, motherfucker, you motherfuckers need to audit K Street too. That's where your real problems is. That's your bureaucracy right there. Is on one fucking road in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And it's called K Street. That's your real.
Yeah.
Those are your puppet masters right there. Those are the ones just sitting there like that.
Yeah.
And your Ted Cruz and your AOC.
Yeah, no, they're the ones that.
You go out there, we'll make you famous, do your insider training. These are the things you vote on.
Yeah.
And people, the same people that would look at that one study that I just mentioned about the schools and blame that guy, you're probably the same person that would sit there and blame Ted Cruz and AOC.
Yeah. Also, side note, because we know some people that wanted to vote for Ted Cruz during the 2016 election.
Mm-hmm.
How come? Because you have to be at least 35 years old.
Yeah.
And you have to be born naturalized citizen of the United States.
There's more to it than that. You can be born in a U.S. territory. So say like Panama, Guam, Puerto Rico. These are U.S. territories.
Okay.
You have to be 35 years old. You cannot have dual citizenship for no less than 10 years. So if you've had dual citizenship with another country in the last 8 years, you can't be president.
I didn't know that. I thought you had to be born naturalized American. Like you can't have been born from another country.
If it's a U.S. territory, then...
Well, no, I'm not. Well, Canada's not a U.S. territory, though. It's its own fucking thing.
Yeah. But you also cannot have dual citizenship for no more than 10 years. Or no less than 10 years.
So you have to be at least an American for at least 10 years.
You have to be born in America or U.S. territory. First step.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that really truly matters here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many citizenships you have in another country. If you're not born in America, you can't be president.
Yeah.
So
Period.
the reason why this motherfucker was running for the president of the United States doesn't
No idea.
fucking make any sense to me. So
And he,
it feels-
ironically, he was a dual citizen to Canada, but he gave back his citizenship the year before he ran for president. That if he gave up his dual citizenship 11 years before running.
That's crazy.
So, because if he wouldn't have done it when he did do it, he wouldn't be eligible then either. Which
Yeah.
I don't even know why you think you would be eligible. You know, it's
Yeah.
weird because the same people we know that wanted Ted Cruz, they're the same people that think that Obama shouldn't be president because he wasn't born here. Yeah, they were one of those people. He's from Kenya or whatever. But yet you're voting for Ted Cruz, who is factually born in Canada.
Yeah, this is Obama's just a conspiracy
That's a conspiracy.
that he wasn't born in America.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's some evidence that the most I've seen is evidence proving that his birth certificate was fraudulent. All right, this was proven in Arizona in actual Arizona state court. So it's actually legally decided that this is a tampered with birth certificate. But even that doesn't say he wasn't born here. It just means that this document was tampered with.
Yeah.
He might have still been born in Hawaii. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not even going to say he wasn't born here. But I will say that they have proven that his birth certificate that he presented to Congress
Was tampered.
was tampered with. Whether he did it or not, I'm not. Either way, he's born here more than Ted fucking Cruz.
Yeah.
You know, Ted Cruz is a fucking Maple Leaf Canadian.
Yeah.
He is not. He is not.
Yeah, so I
American.
think it's crazy how and for him to do it, relieve his Canadian citizenship 11 years prior.
Like that was gonna make it any better.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like what that sound is that just very convenient, or is that like was that on purpose? You know?
Yeah, he thought he could weasel his way through that too. It's just that I can't stand the dude. He says some pretty dope shit from time to time. Don't get me wrong, but I've even watched AOC do some pretty dope shit from time to time.
Yeah.
She actually had one of these contractors give back money. They were billing like 6 times over the rate. I can point you to a couple times where AOC did straight up call somebody out. She's just also fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like that one dude we know. He's Jewish, by the way. He is not for this Israeli shit, you know?
Mm.
And I was like, man, I kind of feel weird saying that I'm not for Israel because I feel like I sound like one of these wokies. And he says, well, you know, you can't be wrong all the time. Yeah. And he's just got a good point. So even AOC is right here and there. You know?
Yeah.
Ted Cruz is right here and there. But
Yeah.
he's just a fucking whack. That interview with Tucker Carlson, I didn't watch the whole thing, but man, this wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look. I can see why you're a congressman and not a lawyer, put it that way.
Yeah.
Even though you got a law degree.
Yeah.
Probably take each one of these things and clarify some things on it. Because I am infatuated with how the mind perceives information.
Yeah.
How two people can see the exact same thing and get 2 different conclusions out of it.
Yeah.
And I've always found that interesting.
There's clearly 2 diverging paths that led them up to think that way. Just got to find out what those paths are and how they got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I find so intriguing.
The best way to do it is by talking to the opposition.
Yeah.
But having an opposition that can...
I think it's very important, you know, talking to the opposition, because the moment Charlie Kirk was big on that, the moment you stop talking, violence ensues.
I just see
I
just see the divide growing. It might not ever come to blows. Like say like your tranny thing with the bathroom stuff. It's like, I'm pretty sure if you got the right tranny that can articulate their mind to a person that can put themselves in someone else's shoes, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that can make sense out of it.
Mm.
I just haven't seen one yet. But I think it's done also on purpose, because I remember when they were trying to legalize weed, they would always put the bro out there. Man, make it legal. Smoking's not a crime. They would always put that dude out there. They didn't put the doctor out there that
He's
smoked
a
weed.
bad spokesperson.
Yeah. So I wonder if they're just putting these people out there.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a good thing to listen to your opposition. Not listen to the people that you agree with, taking the opposition out of context. You know, so people will say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I do listen to the opposition," you know, but he only watches Ben Shapiro or some shit. And
well, watching some cracked out loony isn't watching your opposition, isn't learning from your opposition. You're using the worst of the worst to garner your opinion. You know, you're not trying to find the middle ground here. You're not trying to find reason. You're trying to find the most explosive, crazy fuck out there to paint a picture of how an entire group is.
yeah. So I grew up as a conservative constitutionalist, like that kind of ideology. And I eventually got to the point when I was going to study at Hillsdale for Constitution 101 that when they were teaching me about how the Constitution was, created, I decided, like, instead of like, obviously I'm still going to learn all these things. I still want to learn about the Constitution and stuff, which I have. I also want to learn about the opposite. So, and the best thing that I started doing was, like, what's the direct opposite of a constitutional republic capitalist society? And that's communism.
Mhm.
And so I started reading communist ideologies. I started with the Communist Manifesto, started reading Karl Marx, reading Vladimir Lenin right now, Stalin. Read all these things, because knowledge shouldn't just be from a source that you agree with. You should get knowledge and information from all things that you even disagree with, because it will either confirm your idea or deny it or make it better. And in fact, you could probably take ideas from both, and create something that would even the people that are staunchly ideologue on one side kind of think about what it is that you're saying. It's like, oh, okay, then that makes sense. I'm a little too hell bent on this topic. Maybe, looking at it in this perspective, being able to articulate it, because articulating another side from the point of view of somebody that did grow up on your side and being able to articulate it, in a way that makes sense. Shit, that's really good dialogue there. And
what would somebody need to? So take like the lady that threw the rocks at the duck. How would you have a conversation of ideas with this person? Is it possible?
In what context? Would I be talking about why she threw rocks at the duck?
Or any of her political ideas. Is there anything you can say, or is it 100% on her?
Yeah. So I'd say the only way that you can really get anything to come out of her is just by interviewing her. Like, you would have to really be asking questions to get an idea on her headspace, and then try to conjugate questions that would kind of, if it's something that's clearly ridiculous, conjugate a question that can kind of stump her. Because to do that, to not be able to explain it, now you're only left with two things that would come out of it. Either they will dismiss you and not want to talk to you, or they'll actually think about what they think. And you can't force anybody to listen to you, so they have to be completely willing.
Yeah.
So
I don't care if I ever change her mind. I just want her to be able to know why she thinks what she thinks. It's like that one tranny that
you won't be able to do that with everybody, but
that's what I wonder. It's like, is there a way? Like that tranny that commented on one of our videos. Why would I take advice from some cis male?
Yeah.
Never gave advice in this video, so that means that you didn't watch the video. So that means you weren't even open to it.
Yeah.
So how do you change that?
Yeah. There would just have to be an understanding on your part. you would have to be the one that is able to get them to let you in where they can be open with you. So because it's all about the wall that I was talking about. Because the only thing they're doing is defending. They're dismissing everything that you're saying. You can find a way for them to put their walls down, and you come to them one to one. I think is where you'll be able to get the true person out of them. You know, you'll be able to understand them purely.
You think that?
Yeah.
So that would be implying that no one in their life has ever been able to do that.
What do you mean? I'm not saying that.
Well, if you were able to, and for the first time they're actually able to articulate their thoughts, that means they never have before.
Well, there's a lot of people that are like that because that was the ideology. A lot of people, the lady throwing rocks at ducks has not experienced hard knocks. They have not. Had consequences of their actions. You know.
I don't see how though. I don't see how at 50 years old you've not had to fucking pay the man a couple times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's probably strong arm shit, but there's never been a time where they actually sat down and
I just don't see how. That's where it's confusing to me.
Yeah, but there's people, Murphy's Law, man, and what can happen will happen, and there are definitely going to be people that have never had hard knocks. There are going to be people that...
Well, hard knocks is just the hardest you've ever had it. So my low may be different than your low.
Yeah, no, that's true, but there is the...
Like to that lady, those ducks fucking was the bottom.
But you got to also think that there is the coach's son. There is one that it will never, have the true repercussions of their actions. You know, there's nepotism, there's all kinds of things that will basically alleviate a lot of issues, that they won't have to experience in life. Like I guarantee you,
picture it.
I guarantee you, Barron Trump will never see financial distress. He would never experience that.
But he would know how not to have it too.
He would know how to not have it, but he would to truly know when you're under pressure like that, such as the guy that was shot the black dude that went like this earlier in the episode. He was never trained to be in that predicament all the time.
Yeah.
To know that when he does this, he can see that and not do it. And I think it takes you actually being in the shit, constantly experiencing these things. Repetition is what will get you to really, truly know. And Barron Trump will never truly know financial distress because he has a very strong foundational.
But there are lessons that you haven't had to learn the hard way.
Like what?
I
know you do a very good job at being able to have us experience the weight of the world with actually bearing any of the weight.
But how?
That doesn't mean that I know.
So say like with motorcycles, I can say, Hunter, be careful. Make sure you do a certain amount of counter steering through this corner. There's a bump there. You'll lose the front. You've never had to crash there to know that, but yet you know how to avoid it.
Yeah.
So you were able to learn without the hard way. You know it exists. You know what to look for. And you didn't have to completely be fucked to figure it out. Being fucked and figuring it out is a great thing, but it's also proof you don't have to technically be fucked to figure something out.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can probably put it on more grander scales, Make sure you pump your brakes before you drive through a puddle of water so that the water repels. You don't have to experience that to know that.
Yeah. But this is with preemptive information. Will I be able to, because for that analogy on the bump, I had to have done it preemptively to know that that's how you avoid it. If I was to go into a corner that you may not have had to counter steer and I find a bump, I didn't preemptively counter steer it to know that how to fix it after the fact. I've never experienced that. So if I hit a bump and then that after that bump of not counter steering, all of this is new information. These are all things that I have not experienced yet, and I don't know how to combat it.
That's where you learn the hard way. But it's also proof that you can learn knowing what the hard way consists of.
Yeah.
Without actually experiencing it. So why is it that you have that ability and like this lady is in the fucking pond throwing rocks at a duck?
What do you mean have what ability? Being able to preemptively or...
to take my cautions don't not partake, but you know this can be there, so you have to be aware of this.
I guess that would have to be the trust that I have in you, and the fact that I had to have seen your knowledge in this, and that I know that you are coming at it pure
Something
of
to
heart.
gauge it from.
Well, you're coming at me with this information pure of heart. You're not trying to um, deceive me. You're not trying to do any of
Not
this.
get you to let loose.
Yeah,
on
and
this.
so
Okay,
I know
gotcha.
I know to take you and your words seriously. That
Okay.
this information is valuable, and I probably be in my best interest to take it. So coming from you would be at a level of trust. If I was to get advice, financial advice from a bum, it could be very good advice, but
You're
he's
apprehensive on.
he's literally a fucking bum. Like why would I take advice from somebody that can't do so?
So this person that's throwing rocks at the duck is probably has always viewed other people as adversaries.
Yeah.
Like they've always got some.
Well, it's just there's
always an angle that somebody's trying to get.
Yeah, they've probably have been raised as
to
such.
be you are being used at all times.
Yeah,
That way.
possibly.
Okay, I can see that.
I could see that. Yeah. So there would have to be some sort of way that you can come to this person that you can obtain some level of trust and then drop their walls and allow you to come in, such as the way that I've allowed you to come in behind my walls. So
That makes sense.
yeah. So there has to be some way to do that so that you can talk to the rock throwing duck lady. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And for her
Why
to
is it
actually
that-
genuinely give you an honest response.
Yeah. Why is it that no one's ever harmed you, but you think because anyone can, they will?
Yeah. So if you just come at her wearing a MAGA hat and a microphone and a camera, she's not going to fucking listen.
Yeah.
There has to be some middle ground that you can meet her at, because you are clearly wearing the sword and shield that she fears, and that she will naturally, because of how she is mentally, will of course not listen. So
That makes sense.
yeah, that would be because I will say I've been able to do that to quite a few people, where I've been able to have somebody's guard let down and my words be pure to them, where they're not listening defensively, they're actually listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth, and that they are able to take what it is that I say, jumble it with their ideas, and see how it is that they can word something back that either would make sense to me, discount what I say, or agree with me. So I have been able to do that, and I think it does work. It may not work for everybody, because I think there are some people that are just
Not gonna happen.
they're just not, just not going to happen. But that also doesn't mean that they can't ever be. So
Yeah.
you just may not be the right person at the right time with the proper words, the proper meaning, instance. So because I think at the end of the day, the tribalization of ideas is a detriment to society and will ultimately lead to despotism. And I think that people need to critically think, wake themselves up, because you're not the one pulling your strings most of the time. At the very least, some of the time you're not, and other people are.
Yeah. At least moderate it, man.
Yeah.
Like
Really sit back and actually think, and don't act first. So
even the things that you don't critically think on, it's not saying that you can't do things mindlessly. By all means,
Mhm.
you know what I mean. If you like football, if you like boating, fishing, surfing, whatever, it's not. I'm saying don't do things mindlessly, but if the vast majority of the things you do,
yeah, but
is
even
not
even if
critically-
you're doing fishing mindlessly, you still thought about it.
yeah, yeah,
You know
You know why how you
you
got
still
there.
went to fish with a purpose.
Yeah.
And now you can do that mindlessly because you thought about doing it.
yeah,
So still think about before you act. Don't go
Yeah.
fishing and not realize that your kids haven't eaten yet.
yeah.
And you need to, you have other shit that you have to handle first. Prioritize, think.
Yeah,
Right.
it seems kind of obvious, but
Yeah, but a lot of people don't think like that.
yeah,
So
I don't get it.
I'll end it there. If anybody has left up to this point, I will say that YouTube sucks dick balls. And we're mainly going to be more active on X, at least in
Yeah,
what
at
I
least
would
don't tell
like.
you to fuck off.
Because I think they actually are probably less so than Rumble, but X is very pro freedom of speech. We were actually able to upload our last video without any issues. So
Other than a tranny.
Yeah, that's not even an issue, honestly. I actually like that.
It was funny.
Yeah, I actually like that the people that we're wanting to talk about is actually engaging with our content instead of just, completely not showing our video
Yeah.
so that somebody out there that could hear this information and really think about it. So,
Another one, I went down, I went on that trannies page. Man, just reading some of that person's post, man.
yeah, it's sad. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
The walrus has wet feet.
And of course, if you have any very specific gripes, email us because that can't be moderated. So,
Yeah.
anyways, hasta luego, bitches.